Good morning to all. I am Balachandar, Assistant Professor of History. Today class is History of Europe 1453 AD to 1789 AD. Topic 4, the Peter the Great. The Peter was ruled Russia 1689 to 1725, long term. Russia was the largest country in the world. Russia is located in two continents, one Asia and another in Europe. 77% area in Russia is in Asia and the remaining 23 in Europe. Russia was called a lost born baby in Europe because it had cultural context rather in Europe. Beginning of modern age. Peter was born on May 13th in 1672. He ascended the throne of Russia in 1682. He was a small child of 10 years at the time of his accession. He ruled as the 1696 along with his elder brother Ivan, under his regency of their half-sister Sophia. Peter took charge of the administration of all country and began to rule independently. He ruled efficiently up to 1725 and made Russia a powerful and glorious country and civilized and moderate. Condition of Russia at the time of Peter's accession. Russia was backward and almost primitive country. Russia was shut down from contact with the West meaning Europeans. Russia had to face innumerable difficulties in her foreign trade, and Sweden and Turkey had established their control over Baltic Sea and the Black Sea respectively. In North Sea was generally icebound in more than 9 months in a year. At that time, Russia had no port. Hence, sea trade was completely hampered. The only correct connection the Russia had with European was the religion Christianity. Russia was not affected by liberal movement and Europe, the Renaissance and the reforms. Russia, slumbering in Oriental speculation, had no share with intellectual, cultural and spiritual experience of the West. Aim of Peter. He wanted to establish a benevolent despotism following the model of Louis XIV of France. He aimed the creative, powerful standing army after the fashion of other European countries. He was resolved to make Persia people adopt the European way of life. He was determined to gain outlet the sea in north and in the south in the important correction prospects. He determined to ride himself to the Sjctnc up to India, Boyas, Patriot and Sjctnc. Home policy and administrative measures of Peter. He visit to foreign nations. Second, suppression of revolt of Sjctnc, abolition of assembly of boyars, and nationalization of churches. Visit to foreign nation. After taking over the to the empire in 1696, Peter badly defeated the Dutch and occupied the port of Oslo. He learned astronomy and shipmaking in Holland and got a training in army organization in Persia. He also called various engineers, sailors, artisans and skilled laborers from foreign countries to Russia to make it a modern country of Europe and Asia. Suppression of the revolt of the Sjctnc. Taking the advantage of absence of Tsar from Russia, the Sjctnc bodyguards of Peter raised a standard of revolt against him. They want to enthrone Alexis and minor son of Peter under the regency of Sophia and made the foreigners leave Russia. As soon as Peter learned this revolt, he at once returned to Russia. Although the revolt was crushed and a law and order was restored before he had reached Moscow, he beheaded a large number of Sjctnc bodyguards and shed a lot of blood of the rebels. Abolition of Assembly of Boyars. During the reign of Peter, feudalism was a zenith in Russia and the Assembly of Boyars had a great influence during the time. The members of these assemblies were very conservative and reactionaries. They were completely against the westernization of Russia. There was Peter was staunch support of westernization and he wanted to make Russia into a modern country by all means. When he felt that his dream would not be fulfilled so long as the Assembly of Boyars existed, he abolished it and organized an advisory committee in its place. Nationalization of churches. The Russian churches was quite conservative and did not like the activity of Peter for turning Russia into a modern country. Hence, Peter decided to establish his control over it. Fortunately, in 1700, Patriot, the head of the Greek church, breathed his last, but Peter did not appoint his successor and wanted to instead of beginning his opponent. The churches should not become his support. He also removed the head of the Moscow church and he was against Peter. Peter organized and Holy Synod and himself became its head. Thank you. Administrative reforms. He introduced an administrative system based upon the Western countries. He established powerful absolute monarchy in Russia. He appointed special officer to look after every department. He laid foundation of the centralized and well-organized administration. He also introduced various reforms in military of Russia and trained it on Western style. He removed Dumas, Parliament of Russia, and appointed a Senate. All the members of Senate were nominated by the Tsar himself. Peter realized the necessity of standing army of Europe model. St. Petersburg. St. Petersburg. Peter disliked Moscow because it represented old Russia, which means that it was vended to the past. He built a new capital, St. Petersburg, on the bank of river Nevo, as described it as Russia window to the west. The Peter, his new capital, represented the development of modern Russia, facing the Gulf of Finland, with its commercial and cultural context with the West. Thank you.